Now they're saying that 50% probably of men age 45 and over in America, I don't know statistics for the rest of the world, have erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 2. That should never, ever happen. We should be vital until the day we die. Night sweats, sleep disorders, and fatigue. All of those are symptoms of menopause. Now, if we were to take a survey, I just wonder how many of us on there tonight, over age 50, let's say, do not experience these symptoms. So menopause is real. Let's see, there you go. This is another serious problem with menopause and menopause, bone density. You can see here at about age 40 is your peak bone mass. And for men, it's up about 1,500 grams of actual calcium bone mass at age 35 to 40. And then you can see it starting to decline. And women, of course, you don't need as much bone mass, and so the bone's usually lighter. But look at the dip there, much lower. So you've got to keep in mind you may need more calcium foods, calcium-rich foods, and please, please get your vitamin D. I mean, a little bit of sunshine is not going to hurt anybody. I usually do it in the morning, about 15 minutes. But you've got to have that vitamin D in the skin to really fully metabolize your calcium. This vitamin D in milk is a joke. I hate to say it, but there are some good supplements out there like calciferol. But, so let's look at menopause, and Simon went over this pretty much already. But you have your reproductive phase, menopausal transition, postmenopausal. And in between, it's like early to late. They call it perimenopause. Now, what can happen, and I'm just going to briefly go over this, not get into the science, is as your estrogen levels go down, particularly in women, your pro-inflammatories go up. Now, that's a big problem today, and this is why. Let's take COVID, for instance. That's an inflammatory condition. It creates a cytokine storm in the respiratory tract. Now they're finding in all the organs. It's creating that same inflammation. We need to modulate that. As we get older, there's more pro-inflammatories that are produced. As our hormone levels go down, what can happen? Neurodegenerative diseases. You get this constriction of the blood vessels and these pro-inflammatories like the interleukins and such going through there, and it blocks the oxygen and the nutrition getting in through the blood to where it needs to go, especially the brain. I mean, it makes so much sense, okay? Ischemia. So, menopausal aging, physical inactivity, mood instability, maybe some depression, more sedentary lifestyle, more obesity, which we mentioned can lead to every other degenerative condition, much higher propensity or tendency for it. And things like more fat, increased bad cholesterol, decreased good cholesterol. Now keep in mind, cholesterol is an important part of some of the hormones and the brain cells too. So it's essential you have good cholesterol. Increased triglycerides, increased blood pressure, chronic inflammation. All of those can develop as a result of this estrogen decline, leading to things like arteriosclerosis and ischemic heart disease and strokes. And so a lot of that has to do with the circulation and the problem that happens as a result of those hormones not being produced. You can see here, it all comes down to metabolic dysfunction. That's one reason we call it alpha. Meta makes sense now, right? It has to do with correcting metabolic problems. They've said that 85%, sometimes I'm off on percentages, numbers aren't my thing, but I think it's 85% of all illnesses today are metabolic. Almost every one of them, there's an inflammatory precursor to it, a cause. We call it etiology. And too much glucagon, adrenaline, oxidative stress, suppressing the adrenal gland, low DHEA. DHEA is essential to the production of the other hormones. Imbalance of steroid hormones, low sex hormones, impairment of progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. It's just one direct correlation there with the swing in blood sugar. That's not just eating sugar, that's your carbohydrates, that's your whole energy source that your body regulates, particularly with the hormones, okay? Leading to imbalanced energy, cause of amino acid shortage, especially the glutamine and glycine, which are very high and bioavailable and balanced in alpha beta, impaired peptide hormone, and lower metabolic enzyme. Now that's a really key point, which we're going to be talking about. So it's caused basically metabolic dysfunction or syndrome X. I think most of you have probably heard of that by now. And it's too much sugar in the blood, creating too much insulin production, creating too much fat storage in the body, leading to high fats, leading to high cholesterol, high uric acid, high triglycerides, leading to diabetes, neurological disorders, coronary heart disease, obesity, allergies, and incidence of degeneration at the cellular level. We're talking about cellular mitogenic cells there and potential cancers. Immune system is compromised. I mean, when you think of all the cells, this is what it's all about, is getting the right energy and the right amino acids to the cells so that they can function properly and regenerate. You see that with the immune system. Everything right now, pretty much everything with the COVID and the variants has to do with the immune system. If you have a strong immune system, your body is going to be able to process it, to deal with it, to withstand it, and to balance. And you see now that they're saying 95 to 98% of individuals who get serious symptoms from COVID are those who already have one of these metabolic disorders. See the direct correlation and why it's so important to get to the core here, the metabolic imbalances, so that you have a good, strong immune system, the white blood cells, the platelets, the T cells, the B cells, the CD cells, all of those, you have to produce those for you to be strong, healthy, and have a good immune system. So, metabolic dysfunction is the root cause of menopause and menopause. You want to have complete metabolism, so you have a balanced hormone production. Balance, that's the key. Increased enzyme, I'm going to be telling you why very soon. Reduced stress, balanced blood sugar, increased and optimal energy. Here it is. We call it polysaccharide polypeptide, alpha polysaccharide polypeptide. Polysaccharides, the alpha beta glucans, create cellular energy. The cells have to have that in order to create ATP, energy. That's our energy source. The polypeptides, raw materials for cellular enzyme production and antioxidants. I'll be explaining that. But also for every cell's reproduction. We've done even some stem cell studies with this ingredient to show that we can increase stem cells in the body. Very important. That was in vivo. Those were live people. Vitamins, minerals, cofactor for cellular enzyme production. Essential fatty acids, rice brans and the bran oils, anti-inflammation. So important these days. Most people are in a should I say, overactive immune system, where it becomes an autoimmunity. The body will start attacking itself. It gets into that phase, into that rage, and that's what happens. And phytonutrients, stimulator for enzyme production. So, spark of life. See that little writing down there? Over 75,000 enzymes in the human body. Did you know that? 75,000. I mean, that's just remarkable. You've got to have the food. They need amino acids to create them. Look at these. Enzyme for energy production. Sodium, potassium ATPase. That is essential. ATP from the mitochondria. I'll show you a study where we prove that we can increase that. ATP synthase. Enzymes for digestion. Everybody knows about those. You've got the protease. They digest the proteins, which can prevent cancer from developing from the toxins that maybe aren't metabolized properly. Lipase fats, cardiovascular disease if you're not metabolizing them properly. Amylase for carbohydrates can lead to diabetes. Enzymes for antioxidant. Get this, the body has to produce 85% of your daily antioxidant needs. It's got to have the right materials and the right energy so that they're functioning properly. Look at the main ones. I think most of you have heard of glutathione. Well, it takes cysteine, glutamine, and glycine in order that it to produce that antioxidant. And it's probably the most renowned one, but there's also catalase, superoxide dismutase. Now, if you listen, every one of these ends in ACE. What does that mean? Antioxidants are enzymes? That's what it's saying. Enzyme for anti-aging, telomerase for the stem cell production. Here's the problem. We can't get away from it. It's our environment. We have a microbiome. We have an internal and external environment. And our microbiome is who we are. And we did a whole presentation on that. Another one we'll do in the future. But look at these. Radiation. Not only radiation from the depleted uranium, but we're talking about, what is it now, 5G? Is it up? It's not up to 6, I don't know. I think we're on 5G. It is really affecting people's systems. And they're showing that research now. So that's where the alpha spin comes in so great, is it can dissipate some of that frequency, electromagnetic frequencies that we're getting from so many places. And you look at the other things like the pollution and smoking. I know there's some of you out there who are smokers, but I just always emphasize this. It's not the tobacco that's harmful. The tobacco can be very healthy, especially if it's grown organic. I used to grow organic tobacco back in Kentucky and in my gardens. And sometimes, have a little smoke for pleasure, but it's the 100+ cancer-causing chemicals in every cigarette you smoke. If you go and smoke, there's so many brands out there now. I don't know how many in Asia, other parts of the world, that are organically grown and they don't have those chemicals. You're going to live so much longer, so much better. And it's been proven that smoking leads to every degenerative disease there is. And people die much younger. So it doesn't matter what you want in life. The air pollution, we're always going to have it. I mean, we can't get away from it. I don't think that'll ever change on this planet. White blood cells, too much inflammation. That causes free radicals. This is all free radicals, okay, that attacking the cell and causing DNA damage. Then you've got the mitochondria, which we talked about. That's your energy production. They get compromised because they're not getting the food they need or the materials they need to function properly. And UV light, I have a different perspective on it. I think everybody needs sunshine. And I know many Asians love their white skin, and I understand, but you just have to understand, too, you've got to have that vitamin D. A friend of mine wrote the foremost book, Dr. Adil Taloran, on vitamin D, and he showed in his research it's essential to get that skin vitamin D be functioning properly. Get this, too, the research showed that those who had the worst cases of COVID also correlated to the lowest levels of vitamin D. Very interesting, right? Like I said, 85% of antioxidants needed by the body on a daily basis are produced in the liver. Well, let's just look how important these antioxidants are and correlate it to everything we're talking about with hormone production and balance in the metabolism, support kidney, dental health, anti-aging, reproduction function. Reproduction, what's that all about? That's our hormones, right? Nervous system functioning, protect the liver, support the immune system, improve defense power of the body. So important right now. I mean, we're being onslaughted. And fortunately, a lot of us are so healthy, we're not being subjected to it, or we're able to deal with. But there's a lot of unfortunate people out there who aren't as healthy as us, and I guess they don't have alpha beta yet. Reduce obesity, offers protection against digestive disorders, respiratory, and every function in the body. We're looking at how important antioxidants are. Everybody thinks, oh, they fight free radicals, prevent cancer. Look at all the other functions that they do. Very important. So you see the ingredients here with the alpha beta and the polysaccharides, polypeptides, essential fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, creating these enzymes, 75,000 of them, or I think there's 74,999 maybe. Producing energy, producing healing power. Now, what I said earlier is alpha meta is not a medicine. It doesn't heal anything. It doesn't cure anything. But what it does is help everything. It is that inner healing power that corrects so many imbalances in the body. Okay, let's look at a little bit of the research just to show you that this isn't just hype and talk, okay? We did a research with 700 plus people with blood glucose at high levels, and this was done actually in Thailand. And we show, you can see here, in only 90 days, the difference. Those above 150 with blood sugar, oh, here I forget what, there's a different correlation. I think it's probably 5, 6, that's probably about 6 something, okay? Going up, way up into the 300s, you know, you're looking at 20s, 30s milligram per deciliter, I think is what it is. But I've always used the American approach. Here, 88% of people were high blood sugar. Look at this. Afterwards, only 38%. After only 90 days. We did a study at Choe Hospital, #1 government hospital in Vietnam, with the doctors and the nurses, not with the patients, and they didn't change anything. They ate the same diet. They had unbelievable stress. You can't imagine what it's like being in those hospitals. Back then, I don't think it's changed much, though. Now, HDL is your good cholesterol. Most pharmaceutical companies, they swear, oh, you cannot raise your HDL. Once you have it, it's yours for life. You can't raise it. Look what we did what was the study? I think it was 30 days. 3 months, sorry, it was 3 months. It was 90 days. Even those below 25 increased their HDL. Look at it, 13%. If you look up at those above 45, they increased it about 25%. That means they're going to live longer, their brains are going to function better. So many benefits of having good cholesterol, the HDL, high density lipoproteins. LDL, VLDL are the bad ones. And the other thing I want to say about cholesterol is some of the latest research. I get a little off tangent on things sometimes. But I think we're doing okay on time, right? Just check, make sure I'm not ranting on too much. Okay, great. Sometime when we get close, Simon, you may want to do this 5 minutes if you want to curtail it.
It's okay. Anyway. Okay, you just can have a sharing as usual. Don't worry about that.
All right, great. And thank you, translators. I know you got the hardest job. I can just ramble. You got to translate. Much more difficult. Anyway, with cholesterol, they're finding it's not the high cholesterol creating the problem. It's the inflammation in the blood vessels that causes the problem, the constriction, the blockages and such. That's why you always do a CRP or homocysteine now when you do your cholesterol, because it's insignificant. You can have a fairly high cholesterol and be extremely healthy and have a high HDL. Always got to test your HDL with the LDLs. Low HDL, your immune system's going to be compromised, your brain function's going to be compromised, all of those. So you need to build it up. Here's a product that naturally builds it up, and we've proven it. Okay, we were talking about energy and ATP earlier, and that's cellular energy. That runs everything in your body and mind. It's all ATP in the mitochondria production, right? We use this instrument at Emory University School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia, and also PMK Institute in Thailand. They work together because both the doctors knew each other real well. We would show that we could increase the energy in the cell by 54%. Incredible compared to the control. There's nothing else we know of that can do this. So that just shows right there, pure straight evidence. Now this is sad. Look at this brain here. It's functional. See all those beautiful colors? Look at the individual with Alzheimer's. Nobody's home. So sad. I mean, that's what happens. Nobody's home. So we did an Alzheimer's study at Emory University and PMK. Similar, after we did this study, we did the ATP because we wanted to see just what was happening. But you can see here with the control, there's a few these are brain cells, okay, on the slide. When we bathed it and fed it, with the alpha meta, look at how many more brain cells survive. We subjected them to a neurotoxin, 3 different neurotoxins, and that destroy brain cells, known brain cell destroyers, and look at all the protection. So you can kind of imagine what alpha meta is doing inside your brain. It's protecting those cells, keeping that noggin functioning properly. Anti-aging, the metabolic enzymes, all functions of the body and the mind, such as hormones, detoxification, organ and gland function. All of these take these enzymes. So important, as we said earlier, the spark of life. You have got to have this catalyst, which is the enzymes, to, combust your fuel inside your cells so that you get the energy from the ATP. It's a powerhouse in the mitochondria of the cell. Cellular enzymes, cell regeneration for stem cells. Now look at this. Stimulating the metabolic enzymes helps us produce more of the and utilize amino acids for production of the sex hormones. Now look at this with hormone regulating. Once you get your testosterone balance, it improves your libido and sex drive. That can be fantastic, right? No complaints there. Strengthen muscles, strengthen bone mass, and good stamina. You can increase your energy, your power, your life force. Progesterone and estrogen reduce risk of heart disease and tumors. Very important. A better sleep quality. Everybody can use, well, I can't say everybody can use better sleep. I know I can. I get by 5 hours, but that's fine. Reduce menopause syndromes and promote skin beauty. Now, this is interesting about that. Let me just mention this. The skin beauty, source of antioxidants, prevents oxidative stress, source of amino acids, enhancing the stem cell production. So important. And that's why you hear all these stem cell creams they have these days and expensive stem cell injections because they're trying to regenerate the skin. But that's temporary. You have to do it from the inside out. You have to produce those cells, and I'll show you why. Source of nutrients, stimulating skin repair. Very important. Our skin's damaged every day from not enough water, maybe, wrong foods, creating free radicals, maybe too much sunlight. I think you'd have to be out in a lot like I used to be, but not anymore. And of course, pollutants, all of those, and the radiation. And I'm sure our EMFs, the radiation from the computers and such, I'm sure it affects our skin quality, but that's another story. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, prevent skin damages, and prevent pigmentation. And then the PSP and amino acids stimulate skin repair, enhance skin rejuvenation. Source of aminos enhance all stem cell production, enhances metabolic enzyme production. That is the key. Now, this is a very interesting study we did with a Dr. Perricone. I don't know if you all heard of him. He's from America. He's I don't know how many #1 best-selling books he's written. He used to be considered #1 aesthetic medical doctor in America, maybe the world. And he also had his own TV show. But we met him at a conference, and we decided to do a study with the Alpha Meta on skin beauty. He has his whole line of skincare products, and he ended up adding it to every one of his products. And then I don't know what happened. I don't want to explain what happened later, but he got such wonderful results. He went ahead and made his own rice powder, which doesn't work as well, but another story. Evaluation and improvement in facial photo aging parameters during a 4-week study. This is just 4 weeks, okay? 81% of people said their wrinkles were reduced. Pores less noticeable, 66%. Of course, that can take longer. Smoother skin, 87%. Incredible. Firming skin, less sagging, 69%. Skin moisturized, 84%. Brighter skin, 84%. Now, this just showed right there in only 4 weeks how we improved. Now, the other thing they did, which we should probably add it to this slide, they actually measured the wrinkles, and they showed a decrease in wrinkle depth from this product, from this 4-week test, in just 4 weeks. So it just shows. Why I emphasize that is Alpha Meta has the research behind it. as I said, it's not just a hyped up product. It's been on the available so many years, and we've seen the benefits over and over again. We've done the metabolic research, we've done the beauty research, we've done the energy research to show this is all true. This isn't all just talk. So strengthening immunity, so important right now. As I mentioned, we had a whole presentation on this a few months ago. Activated immune cells, T cell, natural killer cells, all the cells in the immune system, which are able to strengthen the immune response of the body. Regulate and balance the cytokine storm action in the body to reduce the severe body inflammations due to the immune response. Now, keep in mind, this COVID is different than past viruses in this respect, or maybe it did, but now they're just discovering it. It creates a cytokine storm. What that means is it's overactivating the immune system to attack our own body and destroying it. I mean, there's people. Let me give you a quick story. There was a 19-year-old basketball player out in Florida, and he healthy, but then he got positive for COVID, had no symptoms. About, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 weeks later, they were having a basketball game, and he walked out on court after timeout and just fell flat on his face. And basically his heart had degenerated so much in those short times since he had the COVID. That's happening to so many people. They call it the long-term COVID. Many people's feet, toes are turning black. I could go on. They're seeing a correlation with Alzheimer's and such. So we need to keep our immune system strong. And I'll say this, in all the years I've been working with Alpha Meta, I've never seen one individual with Alzheimer's who took this product on a regular basis. Anyway, providing nutrients, helping to reduce inflammation, speed up the cell repair and rejuvenation, helps to prevent hypoxia condition. That's an oxygen deficiency from the arteries constricting and we're not getting oxygen everywhere we need. I mean, how long can we live without food? We could probably go months. Water, maybe a week. How long can we go without air, without oxygen? It's the key. It's the other spark of life. We have to have that oxygen. True. That's why you adjust the carburetor on the car to get the right amount of oxygen so you don't get the anyway. So helps to prevent hypoxia, strengthen immunity, fight bacteria and virus infections. The best functional food for the body prevention during this critical period of time. Okay. So it's a health solution, anti-aging. I don't really like the concept of anti-aging so much. I think let's just age with grace. Let's just age with quality. We don't really, I mean, we all want to, I hope, live a long, healthy life. That's why we always say, long live the king, long live the queen, right? We should also say, and may you be healthy too. May you have a wonderful quality of life so you're not laid up in a hospital and just spent your life savings on sort of degenerative disease, or that your brain isn't just not functioning so that you're a walking zombie or whatever and don't even recognize your father. It's sad, okay? We can prevent all that. Heart problems, blood sugar, Alzheimer's, degeneration of cells, inflammation, digestion and elimination problems, kidney problems, hormone deficiency and imbalances, and low libido, right? So, well, how do you take Alpha Meta? Dr. Somchai, the developer of this product, has always said everybody should start off taking 3 sachets a day for the first 3 months. You need to activate, energize, and awaken your system. Then afterwards, after you balance things and get things more modulated, then you can cut down to 1 to 2 times daily for maintaining. I do it a little different. I put the big scoop in the bottom of a cup and then I pour hot water on top of it and I just let it sit for a little bit before I stir it. A lot of people like to just drop it on top and then stir it, but I almost let mine get into like a cream of rice before I take it. I just love the flavor. So, lifestyle adjustments. Okay, we could go on and on talking about the product and the benefits, and it goes. It's just ad infinitum. But also, you need to take power and control of your life. You need to have a healthy diet, eat less sugar. There's many books out now that say if you cut out sugar, you can cut out cancer. Cancer feeds on sugar, you know. And every Coke, pop, anything like that you drink, that's 10 teaspoons of sugar. And the diet pops are even worse. They make your blood insulin go even more outrageous and make you crave more sugar. So please, and they also cause cancer and neurological problems. And now they're seeing, I mean, so many cases of people who drink so much diet pops, drinks, and diet everything with the NutraSweet aspartame, they get Alzheimer's much quicker. So keep all those things in mind. Try to get natural and organic whole food, cut out all the chemicals, and prevent refined food, especially wheat. Oh, I just tell everybody get off wheat. We don't need it, but people live on it. And you see in the countries where they just live on wheat and practically every meal, look at the obesity rate. Unfortunately, I think Malaysia may be in the top 5, if not number 1, of obesity per capita. And look how much wheat people consume here. Anyway, and sugar, of course. Less red meat, more white meat like fish and chicken and such. Drink more water. I notice people just do not drink enough water. I mean, I'm not saying you have to slosh yourself with so much, you know, that you drain your electrolytes, but you do need a good, consistent supply of water. It's essential for your function. Regular exercise for better blood circulation. My old mentor used to say, if you rest, you rust. Get up off your butt and get active, you know. Just walking in fresh air. That's all you need to do. Stop smoking, and we mentioned that. Avoid alcohol as much as possible, especially a lot. There's many studies that say a little bit of alcohol, a little red wine, or a little sake, or something like that may enhance life with resveratrols and things like that. I don't know. You get so many stories. It's kind of like COVID these days. You get so many stories, you don't know what to believe. And then regular medical checkups is needed. I go once a year and just get my full blood chemistry done. And then I evaluate it from a more integrated way. But that's another story. But it's good just to check and just see what your balance of your glands are, your organs, your function, your immune system. Better stress management, whether it be Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, yoga, Pilates, prayer, whatever it may be, weight-bearing exercise is very good for the aged. All of those help. And positive thinking, wonderful spiritual attitude. Those are just the key, you know. Just be happy. Sometimes just wake up and laugh. I meditate every morning, and then after I finish meditating, I just take about 15, 20 seconds just to laugh. It's a great way to start the day. So anyway, I just want to thank all of you all for listening. And they asked me earlier if I was real, and I said, yeah, I'm real, and I'm very much alive. I just became 70, and I feel 30 and act 20, or sometimes act like even an adolescent. That's another story. But what I say is drink to your health. And what I'm going to do, as soon as we're finished here, I may have a double. But I always have a double. I have one for home, I have one for the road. Many people just like to take the sachets. I like the powder too. So anyway, drink to your health. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mark, again for your sharing. I'm sure this is amazing and informative sharing, especially for the menopause topic. Okay, once again, thank you, Dr. Mark, for your time, for the sharing for this one. I think this is quite good, sharing, especially this is May and June. This is considered is our Parents' Day. May is our Mother Days, and also June is our Father Days. We very concerned about our parents' health status, especially most of our parents they are pre-menopause and also the menopause group. They need a proper way and also a solution how they can maintain optimum health and also to reduce the risk of the chronic disease, especially during for these critical times. I'm sure for this information from Dr. Mark, you let us is fully understand what is the menopause, what is the andropause, and also what is the cause and factor, and what is the sign and symptom, and also the most important thing that is the how we can fight and also reduce okay, the chronic disease and also the discomfort symptom, okay, from the menopause condition. I get a lot of the question from our audience, okay, tonight, Dr. Mark.
Great.
I think until for this moment, I have about 11. Okay,
Yeah.
they have a lot of the patient now. Let us to go to the first question. Okay, it's come from one of our audience today.
Okay.
The question is like this. They said that, okay, will menopause increase the risk of the skin allergy and also the low immune system problem? And anything we can do it, okay, to improve this condition, especially now, okay, the low immunity condition is a critical for us, especially for this pandemic condition. So what is your opinion from Dr. Ma?
Okay. First, I would just like to talk about how alpha meta can benefit. There's something called leaky gut syndrome, and that leads to a lot of allergies in the body. And the alpha meta can help heal what's referred to as this gut dysbiosis or leaky gut syndrome. So these raw materials that haven't been digested properly are leaked directly into the bloodstream to create these allergic reactions. Now, keep in mind your skin is the largest detoxifier you have. And so our skin is constantly detoxing, constantly shedding old cells, shedding toxins. You know, I have a far infrared sauna in my place, and I use it 3 or 4 times a week just to clear out the pores. But um, you really need to look at the allergies there now. That as you metabolize your food better and you get proper nutrients and cellular function, your skin allergies will tend to dissipate as you get better liver function. Many skin allergies have to do with the liver because, like I say, our skin is our body's biggest detoxifier. Those toxins have to go somewhere, especially if our bowels aren't functioning properly. What's going to happen is you're going to get backup just like you would in your commode. You know, if it's not moving out, it's got to go somewhere. So where's it going to go? It's going to go back up to the liver through the portal venous structure. It's going to come out through the skin. It's going to come out through people's breath. You know, it's going to find its way out. But anyway, so that's one area that I think it would be good to look at. Detoxifying, very, very important. And if there's any type of overweight, it's good to go through some weight reduction, weight management. And we've seen many cases of the alpha meta where individuals will lose weight, particularly taken 3 times a day, because they're getting better metabolism, they're getting better sugar utilization, and they're having more energy. So those are all areas where, you know, I would really look at. But you also might want to do a food allergy test. You know, there's so many food allergies today. I think part of it's because of GMO, part of it's because it's rancidity, part of it's because of so many chemicals in there, particularly the glyphates, you know, which from Roundup and such, which they've shown to cause autism. And it's horrendous what's happening in China and many other countries today with kids developing autism. But it's just millions and millions. They're hiding it. But anyway, it's another story too. So alkaline foods, drink more water, things of that nature. Now, with the immune system, you really have to look at their factors there. The immune system also has hormonal balance, and it also has needs enzymes, and it needs proper cellular function in order to be functioning properly. If all your cells, you know, are mitogenic or cancers, they're not going to function properly. They're going haywire. You know, they're just putting out toxins. So what we need to do is have a good functioning cellular immune system. So we do have that army that we build up, and what we refer to now is called the microbiome. And they're saying that the majority of your immune system now is a result of what's going on in your gastrointestinal tract. Isn't that interesting? And I studied with this Swiss doctor for many years, and he always used to refer to the Peyer's patches, you know, Peyers, in the intestines. that is the seat of the immune system. I mean, keep that in mind. You've got more bacteria in your body than you have cells. You've got zillions of bacteria in your body, good guys and bad guys. We want to keep those good guys functioning properly. And one way to do that, of course, is have better liver function, better bowel function, better metabolism. So in all those areas, the lower you reduce your toxic level, the stronger your immune system is going to be because it doesn't have to do with those toxins. So, get back to looking at your diet, things of that nature, good pure water, and, if you're smoking, really need to cut back on that because that's just tons of carcinogenic chemicals that are being introduced to your body. And try to go organic more often, grow more your own food, all those things, Just a healthy lifestyle will help not only with your immunity, but also your skin allergies. But you may want to do a food allergy testing. Some do it by saliva these days, but also by blood, and get a really comprehensive food allergy test done. And you just need to avoid those foods for a while.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mark. I think this is a good feedback, from doctor regarding, for the menopause condition, especially they want to strengthen the immune system and also to reduce the allergy condition, especially for skin allergy. We have another question, regarding for the hormone replacement therapy. This is very common therapy actually they will go through, especially for the menopause treatment. So we have one question like this: can hormone replacement therapy or HRT treat all the menopause syndrome? Is this any alternative way, or this HRT therapy is safe solution so far?
Let me think about this. Okay. First thing I always did with my patients, and I had a integrated medical practice for over 40 years. Pretty much retired now in that respect. I don't see patients. I don't have a license anymore. But the first thing is to get tested. You need to check your estrogen levels, progesterone levels, your DHEA, your vitamin D, and women have testosterone too. Okay, so progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, DHEA, those are keys for making sure you have a balanced hormonal system. Because if you're low in DHEA, you may not get as much, or progesterone, you may not get as much benefit out of the HRT estrogen you're taking. Now, if you've had a hysterectomy and you don't have your ovaries, then you're going to have to do replacement therapy. Now, it's more and more around the world now. It used to be only Europe and America, but they have bioidentical hormones. And I always recommend them. I had such better results. You'll find some doctors who poo-poo it, but some of the foremost doctors in the world that I know and I've worked with for over 30 years, they use the bioidentical hormones now. So you can look at that. They're available in Malaysia. I know a couple of doctors here who use them. But the thing is you need to get tested. You need to know what's going on there. You can't just throw estrogen into the body and well, you can, and it's going to help, particularly if you've had your ovaries removed. But look at things like that. Now, on another aspect too, alpha meta can be so beneficial because you may just be getting estrogen. So how are you going to produce those other hormones? You still have to have the right building blocks for them, the polypeptides. You still need to have the enzymes. You still need to have the polysaccharides for energy. All of those are essential. So estrogen can be good. Alpha meta can support it. The progesterone can be good. Alpha meta can support it. Testosterone can be good. Alpha meta can help support it and give it all the synergists it needs to function. It's kind of like thyroid. When someone gets on thyroxine, they're given thyroid hormone, and because they may be hypometabolic thyroid, they're not giving them the synergist. Everything else that's involved in the uptake of the thyroid. So you may have it floating around in your blood, but you may not be using it. So all of those are factors, and that's why alpha meta can help in assisting the body in producing those synergistic factors.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mark. Okay, so we can say that the most safe and the most important way to treat for the menopause condition, the best way is come from the nutrition side. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, especially the alpha meta we can provide the alpha polysaccharide. This is the raw compound. Actually, we can provide the raw material and also the metabolic enzyme and also the energy source. We can enhance for the hormone production in our body. To balancing the generate the endocrine system in our body. I think this is a good one of the option especially for the prevention and also we can improve the condition of the menopause, especially during for the elderly group for this moment.
Yes.
Okay, so doctor, we have another question for our audience. What type of the natural supplement actually I should to take to treat my menopause symptom? Besides, we have the powerful of alpha meta, alpha polysaccharide. What type of the natural supplement or the nutrient we need to focus to improve the menopause condition?
Well, it's so important to eat wholesome foods. That's the key. There are many herbs out there that can help with hormone balance. One thing you need to do is look at things that reduce inflammation. That is one of the biggest problems with menopause is the inflammation. You need to look at how you can control the metabolic dysfunction because those are the two main causes. I don't see any reason, and I know many women over the age of 70, 80, some over 90, who don't have any symptoms at all. They're doing fantastic. So if you get the right diet, and if you're living properly, you're getting little exercise, all of that is so important for individuals going through menopause. And like I said, a lot of it can be inflammation. So you have to look at those things, maybe the foods, things of that nature that may be causing some of the inflammation. With regards to supplements, most people who are going through menopause are aging. They may need a little calcium. And I wouldn't take calcium carbonate. It's nothing but rock. Get a good calcium and with magnesium and a little zinc for the immune system. Those can be essential. Now keep in mind that alpha meta doesn't have a lot of vitamins in it. It's not so much that. It has the B vitamins and it has some, but you may still need some. And a lot of it has to do with your stress level too. Look at your stress levels because the more stress you're under, the more symptoms you're going to have with menopause. They have formulas out there for women, and some of them are good. There's so many on the market, and there's so many herbs that you can take that could be beneficial, and even homeopathy, things of that nature. But the most important part, get more exercise, eat proper foods, don't eat the sugars, don't eat all the hydrogenated processed fried foods, get off wheat if you can. Even, I hate to say it, many people don't want to do this. Milk does not give you good calcium. It's not necessarily good food. And so many people are allergic to dairy products these days. Oh, it's just, you cannot imagine how many people. So those are the main things. I mean, like I say, there so many herbs and even vitamins that can help with menopause. But it's better, I think, to go to the core and work from that level rather than take all these supplements. Many of them, like the high potency B vitamins, those are chemicals. Those come from drug companies, and they're really stressed to the liver and the kidneys to just process it. Back in the heyday of vitamins in America, they said Americans have the richest urine in the world. They pee gold all the time because they take so many of these high potency B vitamins, they have to eliminate most of it. You know, the lower potency is better. The food sources of vitamins so much better. So, you know, and there's some great Chinese formulas for the for menopause and for aging women. I mean, even Dong Quai and things like that can be beneficial, but there's just so many.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mark.
And one thing else I want to say about that, Simon, excuse me, is the reason I'm not giving any specific recommendations there. Before I would do that, I pretty much want to know somebody's constitution. Everybody is different. What works for one person may not work for another. The wonderful thing about Alpha Mate and why it works so well for everybody is it's just a food. It's a functional food and it's balanced. So, you know, it doesn't have any additives. It's not extra added attractions. It's just what it is. So,
yeah, thank you, Doctor. Yeah, I'm agree for this. Okay, because we know it. Okay, the most important and the best supplement is from the whole organic food. Okay, sources. Yeah. So alpha meta, this is the best solution. Okay, to improve the health condition, especially during the menopause condition. Okay, Doctor, we have another question regarding to Dr. Mark, can alpha meta help to cure clear skin condition?
Help what? I'm sorry?
Clear skin.
Clear skin?
Yeah, KELOIDS.
KLO. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand, Simon. KLOR.
KELOIDS.
Oh, keloids.
Keloids, yeah, keloid skin condition.
Yes.
It's a type of the raised scar, right?
Yes. You know, in the past, we've had people make a paste out of the alpha meta, a paste, and actually put it on externally and take it internally and have seen some benefits. But you're looking at scar tissue there, as I recall. And so that is much denser. And so it may be more difficult, but I'll be honest, I don't know. You can try it. That's what I would do is I would put it on a little paste at night before you go to bed and then take it internally and try it for 30 days. See what happens. It can't hurt. The great thing is your skin is just going to get better. It's like Dr. Pericone's study. Every part of the skin function, skin appearance got better. So try it. Let us know how it works.
Which means we can use the alpha meta to make for the facial mask.
Absolutely. It's something I think we should do in the future.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, because we have some of the respondents, they are using alpha meta to do the facial mask, okay, every night. After they do for just about 2 weeks, they can see the improvement of the skin texture and also the skin become more radiant condition, more shining condition, and also some of the scar on the face, okay, they have been improved after they do the alpha meta facial as well.
Well, that's what Pericone's study was. It was all external. I don't think any of them took it internally. I think it was all an external application. They got all those improvements.
Okay. We have another question. I think this is quite common among our alpha meta product user and also our member, the visual member. Some people, especially diabetic patients, again, they quite concerned about the carbohydrate. We know the alpha meta, okay, is extracted from the organic, okay, the brown rice. So people will very concerned about the rice product because most of the rice product actually they will shooting up the blood sugar level. So is this alpha meta beneficial to the diabetic condition, and they can very safe to consume it, especially to improve the diabetic condition?
Yes. Well, it's a different type of carbohydrate. You know, it's more complex, so it's not a simple carbohydrate that can spike blood sugar. What we found is that by producing the enzymes, they're going to metabolize that carbohydrate better. And that carbohydrate, because it's bioavailable, is used directly by the cell. These cells have this innate knowledge. They showed this at, I think it was Cambridge University, that the cell can recognize good food from bad food. It knows when to reject something and when to take it in for fuel. You know, it's kind of like if you put bad fuel in a car, it's going to sputter and you know, pop and do everything else. The same thing happens with humans. But with the blood sugar, we're not seeing the spikes. You saw the 707 people who took this product 3 times a day, and the percentage of them that got a reduction in their blood sugar. Now, the most important part about that study that I didn't mention is that these symptoms, now I feel diabetes may be the #1 killer in the world today. And the reason I say that is because when you look at the rate of a degenerative disease that individuals get, the heart disease, the kidney failure, the amputations, the blood circulation, the Alzheimer's, you name it, cancers, it's much, much higher in diabetics, so much higher because they're not utilizing the carbohydrates and the sugars properly, and they're not getting the enzymes they need, not detoxing, all those factors. So this can only enhance it. So I think our research is, there's nothing more evident, because what we saw was across the board reduction in symptoms. Across the board. That was the most impressive part about the study. We have all that documentation. But is that we reduce the symptoms. What that means, longer life, more quality of life. So we really haven't seen, it's not a high glycemic product, carbohydrate. Very low glycemic. So we haven't seen those spikes in blood sugar, and we haven't seen any problems at all with diabetes. I mean, maybe it's happened. Nobody's remarked about it, but I haven't in all these years.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mark. As I thinking about the previous sharing by the Dr. Mark from the clinical research from the university regarding for the diabetic patient. The consumption of the alpha meta alpha PSP for the 90 day, we can show that it's 88% of the diabetic patient, they see a very significant of the improvement of the blood sugar level. But we have facing some respondent, especially the diabetic patient, especially at the starting, they are trying the alpha meta for the first week. They might again suffer from the unstable of the blood sugar condition. So what we can do it in this the initial of the first week with the unstable blood sugar level. So what we can do it to improve and also we can speed up to stabilize the blood sugar. For example, increase the water consumption, or maybe we need to take some rest and also the exercise, something like that. Any recommendation from Dr. Mark regarding for this condition?
Yeah, the first thing I would do is make sure you're testing at the same time every morning on an empty stomach, because anytime you take something, any carbohydrate, your blood sugar is going to increase. You know, I have a perfect blood sugar. I'm about 90, I think, but and we were testing for a while there just to see what happened. And consuming any foods, basically any carbs, your blood sugar is going to go up for a short time until you metabolize that. So you got to test the same time every day, not right after taking it, of course, you know. But what I would say is, if the bodies haven't adjusted to it yet, cut back on the amount you're taking. You know, don't take as much initially until your body is creating those enzymes and being able to function in the hormones properly. I mean, if you're not producing any insulin at all, it could be a problem. But it's just, first I always say is be cautious. Take a little bit of the time if you're having imbalance and build up, which you can do. And like I said, we haven't really seen anybody who's had problems with that. In fact, that study was just so revealing. Maybe it could happen, but make sure you're testing your blood at the same time and on an empty stomach. That is one of the keys I've found in this, is it always is going to pop up right after consuming it, especially because it's very quickly absorbed.
Okay.
Assimilated.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, last question. Okay, because we still have many questions, but we just go to the last question.
Okay.
Can alpha meta be used by the person with the kidney failure patient, especially for those with the dialysis condition?
You're saying can it be used with those on kidney patients?
Yeah, kidney failure patient. For those they undergo for the
dialysis. We've had experiences where individuals were able to reduce the number of dialysis treatments they had as a result of getting their kidney function better. But the thing with that is I always say you have to talk to your physician first, because dialysis is a very, I don't want to overemphasize it, but it's a serious situation. And sometimes they don't want you consuming as much fluid or carbs or things of that nature. And so you have to work with your doctor on that. What I would say there again with dialysis, because we have seen good results, is that you start off gradually, very, very little at first, to make sure your body is tolerating it, and make sure your physician who's prescribing or recommending your dialysis is in agreement with it. That's what's most important. So like I say, dialysis is a kind of an extreme measure, and you've got to be very careful with it.
Okay.
We have seen we've had great reports of people regaining kidney function. I can't say once they get into dialysis that it's total reversal by any stretch of the imagination. That's a pretty degenerative state. But we have seen improvements in kidney function overall, particularly with globular filtration rate improving in individuals with their blood chemistries, individuals who were taking the alpha meta. And that's one of the main indicators for kidney function.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mark. Yeah, I think for alpha meta is quite safe for dialysis or maybe for the kidney failure patient. Because according to the nutrition facts, okay, the carb, the potassium, or the kalium content of alpha meta should be considered is low condition. Okay, we convert to the serving. Okay, it's considered is quite low. Okay, in content. Okay, so it should be safe. Okay, for the dialysis patient to taking the alpha meta, because this is not a drug. This is only the functional food. Okay, which we can enhance again for our body cell, especially again we can regenerate our new cell and also to activate our optimal cell function in our body.
Well, you're right on there, Simon, because what people need to realize is this is not a drug. It's not a stimulant. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'm not feeling any energy from that. Well, that's great initially. It's not a stimulant, you know, it's not a caffeine, it's not a drug. And it's just a food. And it's like, well, it's like, and I talked to many doctors about this who said, no, I don't think my patient should take this. And I said, well, are you also taking them off food? Yeah. Are you starving?
That's right.
And that's the thing about it is, and it is assimilated quick. It may be and utilized fast, so maybe an individual has to reduce the amount at first and build it up. But like I say, it's a functional food. And I can't imagine anybody taking too much of it unless they're saying I'm eating too much food. You know, so you're right on about that. It's strictly a functional food, and people need to realize that. You know, oftentimes when we do our Q&As, we get, well, will this help with this person's cancer, this lymphoma, with this blah, blah, well, not blah, blah, all these conditions. And we said, well, no, it's not a drug, you know. What it's going to do is it's going to help your body balance and take care of it, hopefully from inside out, you know, with its own power and own energy and healing energy. And that's why we call it a healing energy product.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mark, again, for your time, again, to share a lot of the information with us, okay, especially for this menopause topic. We still have a lot of the questions. Don't worry, okay, we will note down all the questions, then we will come back to you as soon as possible after this. Okay, once again, thank you, Dr. Mark, for your sharing. Okay, thank you to you. Okay, for your valuable time.
Thanks to all the translators too.
Okay. Thank you to everyone. So we just finished for the sharing and also the Q&A section. So maybe I just pass back to Mr. Alexis. Okay, maybe Mr. Alexis, okay, have something good news, okay, can announce to us, okay, for this event.
Thank you, Mr. Simon, and thank you, Dr. Mark, for today's sharing. So it's amazing. I think all of you and also me already learned a lot from your training about the benefit from the alpha meta, not only for you, but for all your family members. So, and also the Father's Day is coming. So best wishes to all. Okay, so now in this world, you can buy the alpha meta. Okay, so this is the alpha meta bottle version. Okay, and the sachet version is also coming. Okay, in Indonesia, sachet version is coming. So each box of alpha meta sachet, we have 25 sachets inside. Yeah, so for 25 times consumption. Okay, so it's good for you and also good for your family. So we will also offer you the Alpha Meta promotion. So in Indonesia, before its launch, you can try first on our promotion package. Okay, so let me share you the promotion detail. Okay, so this is the promotion we have. This is now for Indonesia. Okay, for Indonesia distributor, if you come to Indonesia branch to buy, then buy 4 bottles of Alpha Meta, then you can get 2 boxes of Alpha Meta sachet version. You can have the opportunity to try first before we officially launch in Indonesia. So from today till the end of June, okay, buy 4 bottles of Alpha Meta, then you can get 2 boxes of Alpha Meta sachet for free. You can try first, okay? And for all our branch in Malaysia, Cambodia, and Hong Kong, okay, buy 8 boxes of Alpha Meta sachet version. Then you can get 2 boxes for free, okay? So please just take this amazing opportunity to enjoy more from the Alpha Meta, okay? So thank you so much to join us today and also waiting to see you soon in our next training. So keep following us on our Isworld Facebook. Okay, the QR code is here. And also follow us in the YouTube channel. You will get more amazing information. Find out more from us official social media account. So thank you so much and take care and hope you can enjoy. Okay, goodbye.